Look, first of all, for those of you who don't understand how the business works of internet traffic, people have to click on something in order to advance the interests of the business. And every headline is bait. I think the pejorative sense of clickbait is when someone gives you a headline and the story doesn't back it up. And we've seen ads like that all the time. And it's obvious that it is bait. That they're deliberately misstating in the headline what you're going to get when you click on it. And we try to never do that. And I always try to be on the lookout for it. I'm not going to name names here, but I was seeing headlines over the weekend that Matt LaFleur has told Jordan Love to prepare as if he's the starter. Okay?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But the broader context is this, and
Right.
Here's what he said to reporters last week. It's the same message it's been all the time. You're only one play away, so you always have to prepare like you're the starter. Yes, you're the backup. Prepare like you're the starter. Not prepare like you're the starter because Aaron's not coming. Prepare like you're the starter because you're the number 2. And frankly, Chris, and here's why I bring this up. They asked LaFleur, and it's kind of a naive question, like, why do you have so many quarterbacks if Jordan Love got all the reps with the first team? Well, you do individual drills. You got a bunch of guys you're throwing passes to. You need arms there to throw. So they got 4 quarterbacks at OTAs, or had. It's over now. And they got Aaron Rodgers. They got 5 on the roster. And at one point, here's what LaFleur said. Here it is. As we get closer to training camp and, things could become a little bit more clear for us, we potentially could make an adjustment there as it relates to the other quarterbacks. That was the moment I thought he knows Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Aaron Rodgers, how can you not let your head coach know what you're planning to do?
Right.
Your coach has reason to know. I think Rodgers will let him know he's going to be there, and I think LaFleur is already thinking which of these guys, Blake Bortles, Jake Dolegala, which of these guys are going to be told, hit the road, Jack, because daddy's coming home. And LaFleur knows it. That's right. What I believe.
That's right. You know who your daddy is. It's Aaron Rodgers. I like that. But no, you're right. I mean, they signed quarterbacks because of what you're talking about. 1, arms, 2, more options to figure out if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, what gives us our best, 3 quarterbacks in a room, whatever. They want to give themselves that availability that way. But I'm with you, Mike, in the fact that, first off, like we've been saying from the get-go, there is no issue between Aaron Rodgers and the coaches. So the coaches, I would believe, and Matt LaFleur and Rodgers, from anybody you talk to, seem like they have a really good relationship. It's very open. I would agree with you that he's let LaFleur know that, like, yeah, I'm going to be there, blah, blah, blah. He probably even told him, I'm going to continue to give the front office and stuff hard time. He probably has. LaFleur probably knows that. Who knows? If the relationship's good enough, he does. And LaFleur, he understands. He's probably like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Go ahead. Give him a hard time. I don't know. It's not between me and you, or, he's not getting in the middle of it. But I would think that the coaches have an inkling, about what Rodgers is doing, when he's going to show up, whatever. And yes, whether it's LaFleur and Nate Hackett, or whether he's talked to Nate Hackett, somebody knows there, and Rodgers is keeping in contact. And, yeah, I mean, things are going to clear up, as LaFleur says, and the picture will get a little more clear when Rodgers' daddy, a.k.a., walks into camp.
And it's one of those things that I think should have been obvious to us all along, and, maybe I should have thought of it sooner, but it was in that moment when I heard LaFleur explaining the reasoning for having the quarterbacks, and he made that comment, as we get closer to camp and we get some clarity, he knows. And, yeah, why wouldn't you tell him? I mean, if you're the head coach, he's like, hey, Aaron, look, that's not between you and me. That's between you and them. I just need to know.
You're right.
Do I need to get Jordan Love ready?
Yeah, right.
Really ready. Not just in the event that you break a collarbone again, but are you going to be? I need to know if you're going to be here. And I won't tell anybody. Your secret's safe with me. I just need to know. And I feel like in that moment, there was an unintended glimpse that he's not freaked out about it. Because wouldn't you be freaked out about it if you're the head coach of a team that's gone 13-3 for 2 straight years, and you're 6 weeks away from training camp, and you're embarking on the only period of time during the year where life is sane and manageable? You're going to spend every minute wondering, is my franchise quarterback, the reigning league MVP, going to be there or not? I think the least Aaron Rodgers could do is let his head coach know, And I'd be stunned if he hasn't.
I would too. Listen, I think LaFleur's been freaked out since the draft 2 years ago, going, what the hell? What am I got involved in? What am I in the middle of here? And how do I handle this situation? So, I think he understands the business aspect of it, what's going on, how it hurt Rodgers, everything like that. And I'm with you. I would think there's some line of communication that he at least feels pretty comfortable with. It knows where this is going at the end of the day. And maybe he knows something from the organizational standpoint, too, that maybe they're going to make some effort finally to pay him more money. I don't see that happening, but just throwing that out there. But either way, I think he knows something we don't. That's for sure.
I don't think the organization is going to do anything because I think
at
the top of the organization, he doesn't want him to come back. I think Mark Murphy doesn't want him to come back, and I think he's got no other alternative. What's he going to do? He's going to write a check for $11.5 million?
No way.
Is he going to give up the $6.8 million roster bonus he earned earlier this year that gets paid out over the course of the season? He's got a $14.7 million salary on top of it. It's a lot of money to give up, and you're giving up one more shot at your personal legacy.
Yeah,
maybe
that's right. That's
left.
The biggest thing.
You're going to give up 25% of it to make a point to Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst? I don't think so. One last point on this. I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, but Aaron Rodgers has paid for his Green Bay Country Club membership through the end of the year. And look, how much can it be? That's my reaction. It'd be great to say, oh, that shows he's coming back. Or maybe he's just trolling Mark Murphy by doing it. How much can it be? This is, like when I remember when I was a kid, my dad would sit on the couch and he always wore slacks. And the pockets of those slacks were very conducive to coins rolling out. So he'd sit in the couch and coins would roll out. And from my perspective, hey, baby, it's fair game. It's buried treasure. I mean, whatever it costs for Aaron Rodgers to extend his membership at the Green Bay Country Club through the end of the season is less to him than whatever quarters and dimes rolled out of Dad's pockets into the couch. It's nothing. It's peanuts. It's far less meaningful than the $10,000 that Randy Moss had to pay for rubbing his butt against the goalpost. So I don't think it means a damn thing.
No, it means nothing. Rodgers is smart enough, too, to maybe know to, renew that, to make public perception kind of just quiet down about the whole issue. Who knows? He might not even know in general. I mean, he might have people like Aaron Rodgers might have an assistant.
Nothing intentional about it.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't think so? He has an assistant where they got something that said, hey, I got to pay this to roll over your membership and keep going. And they just paid it. You're right. You don't even think about it. What? Rodgers needs a new Coca-Cola? Oh, he needs a new membership. Great. It's the same thing to them. It means nothing. So I'm with you. You're right. I'm not reading too deep into that at all.
He probably would get upset if his time in Hawaii or wherever it is was interrupted even for 5 seconds when they ask him, do you want us to pay out whatever the dues are, whatever the fees are? I mean, what can they be? I'm in no country clubs, but I don't think it's all that expensive, grand scheme of things, especially if you're making $35 million a year. I have a feeling it's not that much in comparison to what your income is.
And I wouldn't think it is for his income especially. And I don't think it's anything that's affecting him either way. I don't belong to a country club either. I'm not a golfer that way, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I'm surprised you don't. I'm just surprised.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you are, huh?
You don't, just because it's a status thing, and you had that very coddled and cushy upbringing you live in Greenwich. I'm just surprised.
Right.
I wonder how many people just are in a country club just so they can say they're in a country club, even if they never go to the country club. I thought that's what a lot of it was.
Yeah, no, not for me. Sorry. This is nitty-gritty, tough stuff over here, okay? I don't mess with that country club stuff over here. I don't
mess with it. I'll be
because you're a vampire. I don't know why.
No,
why?
no. Where I grew up, they didn't want the Italians in the country club. So,
sure.
Your country club. That's my attitude for my entire life.
Oh, I hear that. Hey, fine. I'll join in on that. You want to do it together? I'll do it too. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.